I have this kind of bad habit that I think I've had since I was a kid. It's whenever I feel aggravated on my lips, especially my bottom lip. My top lip I don't really do this much, but my bottom lip, whenever I feel like something like it doesn't feel right, my solution to it not feeling right is to bite at it with my top teeth and like rip off the skin and then like spit it out. Like I'd bite off pieces of the skin on my lip and then spit it out. And I don't know that this is actually a good habit to have because I've thought about it a little bit. And the reason that I bite at my lip really is because it gets to a point where like that there's a certain part, like a middle point on my bottom lip that gets all dry and crusty, like chapped, I guess you could say. When people say chapped lips hurt, it doesn't hurt. It just gets dry and crusty and feels aggravating, I guess. And so I bite at it to remove that part. And it also looks ugly. So I bite at it to remove that. But I think maybe that hard crustiness that happens, maybe that's part like of a natural process, a natural healing process. Like if you get a cut on your skin, it scabs up first, like there's a scab in front of it. And then that scab protects the skin that's healing underneath the scab until it naturally falls off, or until something happens that makes it naturally fall off. And maybe that's the same thing that's happening with my lip. Because I notice that every time I bite off the flaky skin or the scabby skin. This is really gross. I'm realizing as I'm saying it that it's really gross to talk about. But whatever. Whenever I bite off the hard skin on my lip, spit it out or whatever, always afterwards, like my lip looks clean for like a day. And then the second it gets dry, the second any moisture leaves it, I can't really stretch it in any way. Like if I smile, it'll cut itself and rip, and it'll feel painful. And so I think I'm going to do a little experiment. I'm going to leave that crusty part alone, as if it were a scab, as if it were protective tissue that's protecting the healing part of my lip, and see if it actually makes my lips more healthy. That's what I'm going to do. And I guess that's all I have to say. This has been a very, very short episode of the Kokino Podcast. Hope you can forgive me, but I don't really feel like making a long one tonight. So I guess I'm going to try not doing anything to it on purpose, not biting it, not ripping it off for a month and see what happens. I'm going to deal with people seeing it as ugly or whatever. Just going to deal with that and deal with the aggravation of having like skin that's hanging on my lip or whatever, and just see what happens. And maybe this won't do anything. Maybe this will just backfire and it will do nothing. But it's worth a shot. So I'm gonna just leave my lip alone, see if it heals up better than it could have healed ever, and hopefully it will. And I will report back about this, maybe if I remember to. So yeah, that's all I'm going to do. This has been the Kokino Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It probably wasn't that enjoyable of an episode because I'm talking about something pretty gross, but whatever. Got to talk about something every day. Making one of these every day. I mean, there's not many things you can talk about after you've made, like, how many of this? Like, I think this is almost episode 100. So yeah, see you guys next time.